So here we have the frame of a 1987 Ford F-250. I stripped it down last weekend and we ended up removing the axles. So today I got to do a little bit of grinding, get rid of where they probably had a gooseneck plate attached to the frame that was just welded on. And then there's a couple cracks that I'm going to weld up real fast. And then we're going to sandblast this and hopefully get to painting. So should be a fun little project, but like I said, a couple cracks that I got to take care of, this one by the power steering pump being the most important. So I got the crack all kind of cleaned up down to the bare metal, and then what you want to do at the top of a crack like this is you want to go and drill a little hole, so that way the weld material fills up that hole and stops the crack so it doesn't expand underneath the weld. So just a little tip. Figure I'll go through the setup a little bit. So here's the big hose and the nozzle, and that runs back to the sandblaster unit here, which then has a hose running to the cooler and then to the air compressor. And then on the ground here I set the helmet, and the helmet has an air line going from it to a little cooler that runs back to the air compressor, so that way I get cool air blowing on me while I'm sandblasting. So I'll see you when I'm done and ready to prep the frame for paint. So here she is, the complete sandblasted frame. And now I'll be cleaning the frame down with acetone and then applying paint to it. Well, I'm about to run out of battery, so just gonna show what I've been able to get painted in that little time-lapse portion. Got the inside done as well on both sides. The back here. So just got to take it a little bit at a time and work my way down the rest of the truck. We'll see you when it's done. Oh, here we go. Truck frame is almost done being painted. I gotta flip it over and get the top of everything, but I gotta let it dry so that way when I lift it, I just gotta let it dry for a little bit before I flip it. But it looks a hell of a lot better than it did before. Yeah, you can see that I gotta get the front cross member and just kind of get the top of all the rails, but majority of the way complete. So here we are back again. I guess technically it's day 4 of this project because yesterday it was too humid and wet outside to do anything. And unfortunately when I got home, I wasn't able just to finish painting like I had hoped because Mother Nature intervened at 2 o'clock in the morning and started to rain. So I put a tarp on the frame as quick as I could. But as you can see, there's still a slight amount of rust that appeared on the bare metal. Which isn't a huge deal because, I mean, it's bare metal. It'll just take a minute to clean back off. And this part I got a tarp on. And while I was grabbing the second tarp, the back half of the chassis got wet. So, yeah, just kind of take it and clean it up a little bit. So I picked up this reconditioning tool, and I don't think I need the 40 grit drum that it came with, but I put I think it's 120 grit drum on it, and then the spots where the drum can't reach, because it's good for flat surfaces but not for some of the dips and smaller parts, I'll take the wire wheel and hit it. And all this might be slightly unnecessary because the paint that I'm using is this chassis saver paint, and it says underneath a little bit of paint directly over rust. Now I don't want to just paint right over the rust. I'd rather take care of it, but if I miss a little bit, it's not a huge deal. So I'll set you up and start a time lapse of me cleaning off the frame, and we'll see how these two tools do when I'm done. here it is after finishing putting the paint on the top today. All nice and jet black. So all in all, I'm really happy with how this turned out. So we'll let it dry and then get her up in the air somehow and put the bed liner on her, but that'll probably be in another video. After that, it's just a matter of putting the axles underneath her and I'll have a rolling chassis again. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.